Yeah, let me adjust my tags for getting further. What is it? Man, Universalis V ain't tagged that heavily, I guess. Not EU VTuber. I am not in the EU, and thank God I am not. What are my two grand strategy games? That's enough tags for now. I probably need to reload. Oh, I forgot. I didn't bring out my iPad like I usually do. Stand by. I don't even know why I closed the door. Also, I'm gonna do something. I just realized my stand by 1 second. There's nothing wrong with my audio mixer. Stand by. Okay, do a quick sound check on something. I'm hearing something, but it's not coming through. Huh? Oh god, am I causing an echo on myself? No, I'm not causing an echo on myself, but damn, am I quiet now? Okay, no, the sound of the video is going through. I don't know. Speed. Right, that went through. I don't know what it is, but I know Panko, Komachi Panko stated that she actively listens to her output back on her whatchamacallit, her own mic audio input, so she can get a sense of what it sounds like. I'm just trying to readjust the. God damn it! What should I need? Hello. About 5 seconds. Let me give it like a 2-second. How's that sound? Oh, no. 2,000 milliseconds is not 2 sounds. 2 seconds. Let me bump that up some more. Oh, whoops. I swiped out of something. Oh god, no, not. Do not show that. Oh fuck, why can't I get to that fucking reel? Oh, I lost it. It was something pretty cool. Darth Vader absolutely lighting up an entire hallway of rebel scum. Alright, stop glitzing through. Glitzing? No, what is that word? Going through Instagram. You don't need to see that. Pay attention. There's important stuff to talk about today. Man, listening to this just sounds like a fucking echo and I hate it. Huh. Oh, there's the videos thing. That's really suppressed, no wonder. I don't know how that works. Because I got desktop audio being listened to, and I have my own mic aux getting listened to, and then the video has its own channel, advanced audio properties. Man, I forget half the settings what I'm looking at here. Whatever this. What to talk about today? Well, one thing I wanted to bring up was, well, I'm Mr. Geopolitics VTuber. I'm pretty sure there's probably somebody else who talks about this other than me, who is a VTuber. There's what is it? The National Defense Security paper that came out. I want to actually like try and read through some of it. Searching through Twitter to find somebody so I may like get the proper term for it. Let's see here. U.S. National Security Strategy 2025. Alright, man, this is a multi-page document. It's only 33 pages, but I guess I can run through some of it. Let me actually have it show up. There we go. Oh, there we go. I got rid of that. Yeah, because people are a lot of complaining about it, because this is kind of something that I had wanted for a long time, is integration, because one of the things that this thing does is call out Europe for its immigration policies as a threat to U.S. national security, in a certain sense. I'll make sure to get to that segment. Because looking at the instability that nonstop immigration is causing to Europe, both politically as well as civilly, civil unrest that amounts from it. What was it, like almost a year and a half ago, there were those mass riots across France over some Algerian migrant who got shot by police. And they had to call in, enact a national security state or something, an emergency state of emergency. I wonder if I want to play with my do I want to boost my base? Does this sound any better? Making my voice sound slightly more better. I'm not sure. Whatever. Moving on. I had a thread, then I lost it, but alright, well, let's read the opening statement. Over the past 9 months, we have brought our nation and the world back from the brink of catastrophe and disaster. After 4 years of weakness, extremism, and deadly failures, my administration has moved with urgency and historic speed to restore American strength at home and abroad and bring peace and stability to our world. No administration in history has achieved such a dramatic turnaround in so short a time. Starting on the first day in office, we restored the sovereign borders of the United States and employed the U.S. military to stop the invasion of our country. Like, yeah, invasion, a lot of people quibble about that term because you don't have like an organized state actor conducting the invasion. But considering the flood of people that were coming in, I would call it, I would say, yeah, no, the colloquial term applies at this point, or is worth being a colloquial understanding. That all these tons of people coming to seek refugee status or asylum in the United States or illegally immigrating is an invasion of a sort. Whatever. I shouldn't get caught up on words like that. But I do appreciate the use of military presence at the border to try and stem things. Put the soldiers to good use. We got radical gender ideology and woke lunacy out of the armed forces. We'll see how far that actually goes. And began strengthening the military with $1 trillion of investments. Are we actually going to get our money's worth on that? Who knows? We rebuilt our alliances and got our allies to contribute more to our common defense, including historic commitment from NATO countries to raise defense spending from 2% to 5% of GDP. We unleashed American energy production to reclaim our independence and imposed historic tariffs to bring critical industries back home. We'll see how well those tariffs actually work out. In Operation Midnight Hammer, we obliterated Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity. For now. I declared the drug cartels and savage foreign gangs operating in our region as foreign terrorist organizations. Again, I have my quibbles about labeling everything terrorist, and just let's have a general foreign prescribed organization. So you're not necessarily doing something terroristic, but you're doing stuff that we as the United States don't like, and we will levy all sanctions available to us upon you. And over the course of just 8 months, we settled 8 raging conflicts, including between Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia. Again, I have no idea what he's talking about there. The Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda. We'll see how long that lasts. Pakistan and India. Israel and Iran. For now. Egypt and Ethiopia. All right, yeah, Ethiopia's trying to build a fucking whatchamacallit, a dam way up the Nile River that would totally fuck Egypt. Although, you know, like, how's Egypt going to attack Ethiopia other than like air power? They'd have to go through Sudan. Armenia and Azerbaijan and ending the war in Gaza with all living hostages returned to their families. Living. America is strong and respected again, and because of that, we are making peace all over the world. Too presumptuous in my mind. But I guess as top dog, you gotta sell yourself as hard as possible, but that's just not me. What follows is a national security strategy to describe and build upon the extraordinary strides we have made. This document is a roadmap to ensure that America remains the greatest and most successful nation in human history and the home of freedom on earth. In the years ahead, we will continue to develop every dimension of our national strategy. We will make America safer, richer, freer, greater, and more powerful than ever before. Signed, President Donald Trump. All right. Wow, that's a short table of context. Introduction. What should the United States want? That's an interesting question. What are your goals in the first place? What does America Veil means to get what we want? The strategy, principles, priorities, the regions, Western Hemisphere, Asia, Europe, the Middle East, Africa. How American strategy went astray. I guess I can't read all of this, but we could pontificate a lot about what went astray, but let me skip to what do we want overall. First and foremost, we want continued survival and safety of the United States as an independent sovereign republic whose government secures the God-given natural right of its citizens and prioritizes the well-being and their well-being and interests. Yes. We want to protect this country, its people, its territory, its economy, and its way of life from military attack and hostile foreign influence. All right, this was a little bit more straightforward. That, I guess, me is like I just didn't seem to think, like, reading this is like the most obvious thing ever that I couldn't necessarily put it into words. Way of life from military attack and hostile foreign influence. Weather espionage. Weather, not weather as in, you know, rain or shine, but weather, espionage, predatory trade practices, drug and human trafficking, destructive propaganda, and influence operations, cultural subversion, and any other threat to our nation. Well, if you're trying to tackle cultural subversion from the outside, Trump's already like conceding on that by not going full throttle with TikTok and banning it, because ByteDance in China will not give up control of the algorithm, which is what that law that Congress passed was meant to do. Just the profits of it can get controlled by a bunch of American businessmen who apparently are close to Trump. We want full control over our borders and over our immigration system and over transportation networks through which people come into our country legally and illegally. We want a world in which migration is not merely orderly, but one in which sovereign countries work together to stop, rather than facilitate, destabilizing population flows and have full control over whom they do and do not admit. Okay, so tackling the immigration issue as an international one that needs to be mediated between those sending those people and those receiving them. We want resilient national infrastructure that can withstand natural disasters, resist and thwart foreign threats, and prevent and mitigate any events that might harm the American people or disrupt the American economy. No adversary danger should be able to hold America at risk. All right. To you. Well, industrial based, the American national power depends on a strong industrial sector capable of meeting both peacetime and wartime production demands. That requires not only direct defense industrial production capacity, but also defense-related production capacity. Cultivating American industrial strength must become a high priority of national economic policy. Agreed. Finally, we want a restoration of reinvigoration of American spiritual and cultural health without which long-term security is impossible. We want an America that cherishes its past glories and heroes and that looks forward to a new golden age. We want people who are proud, happy, and optimistic that they will leave their country to the next generation better than they found it. We want a gainfully employed citizenry with no one sitting on the sidelines who take satisfaction for knowing that their work is essential to the prosperity of our nation and the well-being of individuals and families. This cannot be accomplished without growing numbers of strong traditional families that raise healthy children. All right, so that sounds like typical conservative paddling right there. Strong traditional families. How do you define what traditional means? Because, like, his Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, is an openly gay man with, like, a surrogate child. Married. Openly gay man. What do we want in and from the world? We want to ensure that the Western Hemisphere remains reasonably stable and well-governed enough to prevent and discourage mass migration to the United States. We want a hemisphere whose governments cooperate with us against narco-terrorist cartels and other transnational criminal organizations. We want a hemisphere that remains free of hostile foreign incursions or ownership of key assets, and that supports critical supply chains, and we want to ensure continued access to key strategic locations. In other words, we will assert and enforce a Trump corollary to the Monroe Doctrine. All right. Going all the way back to that. The Monroe Doctrine, that is. We want to halt and reverse ongoing damage to damage that foreign actors inflict on the American economy while keeping the Indo-Pacific free and open, preserving freedom of navigation in all crucial sea lanes and maintaining secure and reliable supply chains and access to critical materials. We want to support our allies, preserving freedom and security of Europe while restoring Europe's civilizational self-confidence and Western identity. Now, this is where things are going to get dicey, or like what people in Europe have objected to. We want to support our allies, preserving the freedom and security of Europe. All right, said that. We want to prevent an adversary power from dominating the Middle East its oil and gas supplies and the choke points through which they pass, while avoiding forever wars that bogged us down in the region at great cost. And we want to ensure that U.S. technology and U.S. standards, particularly in AI, biotech, and quantum computing, drive the world forward. Alright. Where are America's means of able to get it? A still nimble political system that can correct course. America retains the world's most enviable position with world-leading assets, resources, and advantages, including a nimble political system that can course correct. I'm not sure I agree with that statement. The world's leading financial system and capital markets, including dollar reserve currency status. Yep. The world's most powerful and capable military. For now, I'm getting nervous. Broad network of alliances that treaty allies and partners in the world's most strategically important regions. An enviable geography with abundant natural resources, no competing powers physically dominant in our hemisphere, borders at no risk of military invasion, and other great powers separated by vast oceans. I have to wonder now, like, is terms like this, like, no competing powers physically dominant in our hemisphere, or other great powers separated by vast oceans, with those terms like great powers, no competing powers, would I find that in the national security strategy of 2024? I wonder. Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find this one easily, am I? Oh well, NSSA archive. (2011, 1992, 1988, 2002, 2000, 2010, 2014, 1989, 1999, 2022. Oh, this is like some, oh wait, what's this? Oh, so this place doesn't actually, can I get the actual document? Oh. Let's see if this does something. Investing in our strength, part 2, global priorities. So this is a totally different table of contents than before. An inclusive world, investing our national, maintaining competitive edge, investing in our people, cooperating to address shared challenges, our enduring role. All right, so here's where it's, that includes the climate, pandemic threats, non-proliferation, countering illicit and illegal narcotics, the global food crisis. Global food crisis. When do we have a global food crisis? Other than acute famines in places that, you know, just can't keep themselves together. Macroeconomic issues. In short, we'll engage constructively with the PRC whenever we can, not as a favor to us or anyone else, and never in exchange for walking away from our principles, but because working together to solve great challenges is what the world expects from great powers, and because it's directly in our interest. No country should withhold progress from existential transnational issues like the climate crisis. While we have profound differences with the Chinese Communist Party and the Chinese government, those differences are between governments and systems, not between our people. Ties and families and friendship continue to connect the American and Chinese people. Perhaps a little too much, in my opinion. We deeply respect their achievements, their history, and their culture. Racism and hate have no place in a nation built by generations of immigrants to fulfill the promise of opportunity for all. Interesting. So this is just talking about China in and of itself. Outcompeting China, constraining Russia. All right. I'm not going to do this, but it would be an interesting thing to compare and contrast this one from 2025, which seems to be a little bit lighter than this one. In addition, though President Trump's robust domestic agenda, President Trump's robust domestic agenda in the United States is Reinstalling a culture of competence, rooting out all so-called DEI and other discriminatory and anti-competitive practices that degrade our institutions and hold us back. Unleashing our enormous energy production capacity as a strategic priority to fuel growth and innovation. Not enough. Reindustrializing our economy, returning to economic freedom of our citizens via historic tax cuts. He just extended his tax cuts from like 2017 or 2018. Alright. That's right. Principles, focus, definition of national interest. Since at least the end of the Cold War, the administrations have often published national security strategies that seek to expand the definition of America's national interest such that almost no issue or endeavor is considered outside its scope, but to focus on everything is to focus on nothing. Agreed. America's core national security interests shall be our focus. Peace through strength. Strength is the best deterrent. Countries. Let me see if that word, if this phrase. God damn it. Shows up in the 2022 one. No, peace through strength. Interesting. Strength is the best deterrent. Yeah, agreed. Predisposition to non-interventionism. In the Declaration of Independence, America's founders laid down a clear preference for non-interventionism in the affair of other nations. It made clear the basis. Just as all human beings possess God-given equal natural rights, all nations are entitled by laws of nature and nature's God to a separate and equal station with respect to one another. For a country whose interests are numerous and diverse as ours, rigid adherence to non-interventionism is not... For a country whose interests are as numerous and diverse as ours, rigid adherence to non-intervention is not possible, yet this predisposition should be a high bar for what constitutes a justified intervention. Okay, I like that saying. Rigid adherence to non-intervention is not possible, but yet predisposition should set a high, this predisposition of towards non-interventionism should set a high bar for what constitutes justified interventionism. I like that contrast. Flexible realism, U.S. policy realism. Does that show up in here at all? No. U.S. policy will be realistic about what is possible and desirable to seek in dealing with other nations. We seek good relations and peaceful commercial relations with nations of the world without imposing their democratic or other social change that differs widely from their traditions and histories. We recognize and affirm that there is nothing consistent or hypocritical in acting according to such realistic assessment or maintaining good relations with countries whose governing systems and societies differ from ours, and we push like-minded friends to uphold our shared norms, furthering our interests. Societies differ from ours, even as we push like-minded. Okay, so this is just like an opposite. Yes, so we might like hold a first world country like Europe to, you know, civil rights standards while saying, yeah, like, no, we can't like push that in like Saudi Arabia as hard. The primacy of nations. The world's fundamental political unit is and will remain the nation state. It is a natural and just that all nations put their interests first and guard their sovereignty. The world works best when nations prioritize their interests. The United States will put our own interests first in our relations with other nations, encourage them to prioritize their own interests as well. We stand for the sovereign right of nations against the sovereignty-sapping incursions from the most intrusive transnational organizations, and for reforming those institutions so that they can assist rather than hinder individual sovereignty and further American interests. Sovereignty and respect, balance of power. Okay, balance of power. That is a realist term. This thing is just loaded. No balance of power in this document either. So this is like sounding like written from, you know, John Mearsheimer himself. The United States can allow any nation to become so dominant that it could threaten our interests. We will work with allies and partners to maintain global and regional balances of power to prevent the emergence of dominant adversaries. As the United States rejects the ill-fated concept of global domination for itself, we must prevent the global and in some cases even regional domination of others. This does not mean wasting blood and treasure to curtail the influence of all the world's great and middle powers. The outsized influence of larger, richer, and stronger nations is a timeless truth of international relations. This reality sometimes entails working with partners to thwart ambitions that threaten our joint interests. Fairness. Oh. Competence and merit. Priorities. The era of mass migration is over. Alright. Now getting into the stuff where putting immigration into national security strategy. Let me see here. Where does the term immigration come up here at all? strengthened and renewed by immigrants investing, seeking opportunity. So that's it. Congress can take executive action to ensure immigration and refugee systems are fair. Immigrants, humane immigration system, and that's it. The era of mass migration is over. There was even a New York Times or like an entire, this is age of mass deportations. Who wrote it? It was the New York Times, The Economist, I forget which. Was it The Economist? Was it New Statesman? The haven that Britain once was being is dismantled as the place of fortress rises. Okay, so there's that one, but I swear there's like a New York Times article. Alright, back to the document. Who a country admits into its borders, in what numbers and from where, will inevitably define the future of that nation. Any country that considers itself sovereign has the right and duty to define its future. Throughout history, sovereign nations prohibited uncontrolled migration and granted citizenship only rarely to foreigners, who also had to meet demanding criteria. The West's experience over the past decades vindicates this enduring wisdom. In countries throughout the world, mass migration has strained domestic resources, increased violence and other crime, weakened social cohesion, distorted labor markets, and undermined national security. The era of mass migration must end. Border security is the primary element of national security. We must protect our country from invasion, not just from unchecked migration, but from cross-border threats such as terrorism, drugs, espionage, and human trafficking. A border controlled by the will of the American people as implemented by the government is fundamental to the survival of the United States as a sovereign republic. Alright, now talking about Europe. Protection of core rights and liberties. I'm going to skip over that for now. Burden sharing and burden shifting. Oh. The days of the United States propping up the entire world order like Atlas are over. Okay, love the poetic language there and Greek mythology reference. We count among our allies and partners dozens of wealthy, sophisticated nations that must assume primary responsibility for their regions and contribute far more to our collective defense. President Trump has set a new global standard with the Hague Commitment, which pledges NATO countries to spend 5% of GDP on defense, and which our NATO allies have endorsed and must now meet. Continuing President Trump's approach of asking allies to assume primary responsibility for their regions, the United States will organize a burden-sharing network with our government to convener and support. I have never heard of that word, convener. This approach as convener. Oh, I will convene this meeting. This approach ensures that burdens are shared and that all efforts benefit the broader legitimacy. The model will be targeted partnerships that use economic tools to align incentives, share burdens with like-minded allies, and insist on reforms that anchor long-term stability. All right. Realignment through peace, economic security, balanced trade. Yeah, that's a sticking point for Trump. Securing access to critical supply chains and materials. As Alexander Hamilton argued in our Republic's earliest days, the United States must never be dependent on any outside power for core components, from raw materials to parts to finished products. Oh, God. Got hiccups. This will require expanding America's access to critical minerals and materials while countering predatory economic practices. Moreover, the intelligence community will monitor key supply chains and technological advances around the world to ensure that we understand and mitigate the vulnerabilities and threats to American security and prosperity. Okay, having the intelligence community, I would say if they haven't, it hadn't occurred to me that should be something they do. But now that you bring it up, I would be infuriated that they haven't been doing that, monitoring key supply chains and technological advantages. Where would I go in the CIA for that? Reindustrialization, reviving our defense industrial base, energy dominance, preserving and growing America's financial sector dominance, the regions. All right, man, we're about 2/3 through this already. customary for documents such as this to mention every part of the world and issue on the assumption that any oversight signifies a blind spot or snub. As a result, this document contains such documents become bloated and unfocused and the opposite of what strategy should be. To focus and prioritize is to choose to acknowledge that not everything matters equally to everyone. Yes. As harsh as that sounds, it is not to assert that any people's region or countries are somehow intrinsically unimportant. The United States is, by every measure, the most generous nation in history, yet we cannot afford to be equally attentive to every region and every problem in the world. The purpose of national security policy is the protection of core national interests. Some priorities, let's see here. Core national interests. Does that term show up in the 2022 documents? No. No core national interests in this document. So, some priorities transcend regional confines. For instance, terrorist activity is otherwise less consequential area might force our urgent attention, but leaping from that necessity to sustained attention to the periphery is a mistake. Western Hemisphere and the Trump correlate to the Monroe Doctrine. After skip this. I'm gonna go to skip. Where's Europe? Asia, the economic future and prevent military conversation. Maybe I'll go back to this. Economics, the ultimate stakes. I had a brain freeze there for a second. Deterring military threats. Promoting European greatness. Promoting European greatness. So, ostensibly, this should document saying this is how we make Europe better, but a lot of Europeans object to it because it doesn't run with their current politics. American officials have become used to thinking about European problems in terms of insufficient military spending and economic stagnation. There's truth to this, but Europe's real problems are even deeper. Agreed. Continental Europe has been losing a share of global GDP down from 25% in 1990 to 14% today. Ouch. Partly owing to national and transnational regulations that undermine creativity and industrious. Agreed. But this economic decline is eclipsed by the real and more stark prospect of civilizational erasure. The larger issue facing Europe include activities of the European Union that other transnational bodies that undermine political liberty, sovereignty, migration policies that are transforming the continent and creating strife, censorship of free speech, suppression of political opposition, creating birth rates and loss of national identities and self-confidence. It's been said all before by many people on the right, but now it's in an official U.S. national security strategy, which I've often thought it should be at this point. You can't, if your allies are weak and they don't have self-confidence, that's a national security issue for you. Should present trends continue, the continent will be unrecognizable in 20 years or less. As such, it is far from obvious whether certain European countries will have economies and military strong enough to remain reliable allies. Many of these nations are currently doubling down on their present path. We want Europe to remain European, to regain its civilizational self-confidence, and to abandon its failed focus on regulatory suffocation. We want Europe to remain European. Obviously, the read into that is we want you to stop importing so many immigrants that it demographically changes your country. This lack of self-confidence is most evident in Europe's relationship with Russia. European allies enjoy significant hard power advantage over Russia by almost every measure, save nuclear weapons. Well, France and Britain have them. As a result of Russia's war in Ukraine, European relations with Russia are now deeply attenuated. That sounds mild. And many Europeans regard Russia as an existential threat. Managing European relations with Russia will require significant U.S. diplomatic engagement, both to reestablish conditions of strategic stability across the Eurasian landmass and to mitigate the risk of conflict between Russia and European states. It is a core interest of the United States to negotiate an expeditious cessation of hostilities in Ukraine in order to stabilize European economies, prevent unintended escalation or expansion of the war, and reestablish strategic stability with Russia, as well as enable the post-hostilities reconstruction of Ukraine to enable survival as a viable state. For anti-Russia maximalists, that sounds like surrender, I'm guessing. Stabilize European economies, prevent unintended escalation and expansion of the war, and reestablish strategic stability with Russia. We need some sort of détente with Putin. so we can focus on China, which is what realists have been arguing for years at this point. The Ukraine war has had the perverse effect of increasing Europe's, especially Germany's, external dependencies. Today, German chemical companies are building some of the world's largest processing plants in China using Russian gas that they cannot obtain at home. The Trump administration finds itself at odds with European officials who hold unrealistic expectations for war perched in unstable minority governments. Yeah. Unstable minority governments. Germany doesn't have that. France, I guess that does apply. Not Britain. I think Sweden's still on itself. It's more like you have unstable governments because center-right parties are having to rule with left-of-center parties and even far-left parties in order to keep out the ostensible populist right that they don't like. A large European majority wants peace, yet that desire is not translated into policy in large measures because those governments subversion of democratic processes. That's a vague gesture. I think you could think of like what's going on with what happened in Romania with that one guy who was barred from running for election, and then the entire election was overruled. This is strategically important to the United States precisely because European states cannot reform themselves if they are trapped in political crises. Indeed. Yet, Europe remains strategically and culturally vital to the United States. Transatlantic trade remains one of the pillars of the global economy and of American prosperity. European sectors from manufacturing to technology to energy remain among the world's most robust. Europe is home to cutting-edge scientific research and world-leading cultural institutions. Not only can we not afford to write Europe off, doing so would be self-defeating for what this strategy aims to achieve. Alright, let's skip. Our goal should be to help Europe correct its current trajectory. We will need a strong Europe to help us successfully complete and to work in concert with us to prevent any adversary from dominating Europe. America is understandably sentimentally attached to the European continent and of course to Britain and Ireland. The character of these countries is also strategically important because we count upon creative, capable, confident, democratic allies to establish conditions of stability and security. We want to work with aligned countries that want to restore their former greatness. Over the long term, it is more plausible that within a few decades at least, certain NATO members will become majority non-European. Okay, explicitly going there. As such, it is an open question as whether they will view their place in the world or their alliance with the United States in the same way as those who signed the NATO Charter. Indeed, because if you get like Muslim-dominated countries, because they vote in blocks and can bully their way, even if they can't get majority governments, they could say, you know what? We object to America. You've bombed too many Muslims so many decades ago. We're leaving NATO on their own. Probably won't come to that. That probably would would have to take, you know, no course correction on immigration for like 100 years at this point, or like continued for a century or nearly in order to get that bad. But, you know, theoretically, you could get there. Muslim majority European states that leave NATO because they don't like a Christian U.S. or whatever. Reestablishing conditions to stability within Europe and strategic stability with Russia, enabling Europe to stand on its own feet and operate as a group of aligned sovereign nations, including taking primary responsibility for its own defense without being dominated by any adversarial power. Cultivating resistance to Europe's current trajectory within European nations. Opening European markets to U.S. goods and services and ensuring fair treatment of U.S. workers and businesses. Building up healthy relations with Central, Eastern, and Southern Europe through commercial ties, weapon sales, political collaboration, and cultural and educational exchanges. Ending the perception and preventing the reality of NATO as a perpetually expanding alliance. Oh yeah, that's one thing that people objected to, because that's more or less aligns with, like, you know, how certain dissidents across Europe feel, but also how Russia has definitely characterized NATO. You know, we had there was like back during George W. Bush II, we were pushing Ukraine to join NATO. And there have been pushes trying to get Georgia in there. So this definitely feels like, you know, if you're an Atlanticist, is like capitulating because they want more countries in it, like, I don't know, Serbia or Moldavia or North Macedonia was allowed in, and Macedonia too. The only people left would be Bosnia, Herzegovina, Albania, Turkey's in there already. What, Cyprus? Who else isn't in there at this point? Ireland. Okay, that's it for Europe section. Damn. I guess I've been rambling for this for like 3/4 of an hour. What is the thing about? So yeah, a lot of people object to this. So let me get to this link that I'm seeing on a totally different tab. Oh, god damn it. J.D. Vance's intervention in Germany's election on behalf of AfD was not a one-off. It is now ingrained in U.S. national security strategy, cultivating resistance to Europe's current trajectory. Europe is being treated as an enemy terrain to be destabilized by America's enabling of far-right parties, and NATO expansion is bad, as Kirill Dmitriev might put it. Europe is being treated as an enemy terrain to be destabilized. No, we're treating it as friendly territory that is being destabilized. And NATO expansion is bad. Yeah, because now we're up against Russia, and it gives some sense of these countries, like Ukraine, that they can get in. And so then they might pursue it. If you keep on expanding, other people said, well, maybe we can get on this too. Probably like would have been best is like at the 90s to say, all right, we'll allow for the unification of Germany and maybe keep ourselves open to like say Sweden joining or Austria. Is Austria even in NATO? No, Austria is not in NATO. But that's about it. Beyond the current alliance structure, we're not interested in expanding. People may apply, but it's up to us whether or not we accept them. Oh, this guy's got the good comment. Yeah, well, you're welcome. European voters wouldn't save themselves, so we had to do it for them. Oh, the guy, account literally named hate speech. Cute. What to call Trump's U.S. national security strategy? Treating European allies as the enemy. We're not treating you as enemy. We're treating you as allies who are shooting yourselves in the foot. Oh, this is interesting. Trump, Putin, and Xi, as in Xi Jinping of China, have an informal non-gentleman's agreement. Non-gentleman's agreement. Russia can invade Europe, China can invade Asia, and America can invade the Americas. China and Russia will stab America in the back once Trump has completely betrayed our allies and isolated us. Cuckoo Cocoa Puffs thinking. I can't believe I just said that. Oh, this guy's like saying something. Lots of things to like in the new national security strategy doc. But this is just a thinly veiled admission that the U.S. is going to fund right-wing parties across the U.S. Fund? No, the Trump administration is not smart enough to do something like that. Whoever wrote this doc should better coordinate with the White House. Read India policy. The Quad is probably dead. Still astounding to me that the American policy understands India in such reductionist terms. We must continue to improve commercial and other relations with India to encourage New Delhi to contribute to Indo-Pacific security, including through continued quadrilateral cooperation with Australia, Japan, and the United States. Considering, oh yeah, that was funny. There was, I don't know who put it out, but there was like, oh yeah, they made some, oh yeah. Okay, apparently this is them singing some fucking song about friendship or something, with Putin riding in the sidecar of a motorcycle. Shows Trump as a petrol pump attendant at a U.S. fuel station with Russian fuel pump placed beside it. So I forget, this is produced by what, India Today? here's the gas station scene. Apparently this song that they're singing in the background is about friendship. Moon Poon riding a bike with a friendship song playing in the background. Modi rides the bike with Putin sitting beside him, and Indian PM sings, "We will never break this friendship. We will never leave your side. It doesn't matter how much difficulties come in our way." Taking a hit at Trump, the lyrics briefly touch on tariffs imposed by the U.S. president on India, adding, "No one can stop the delivery of S-400 missile defense to India." Wow, all right. So they made up a song about friendship. They even touched on actual like actual like issues. Weird. All right. I don't even know what this is. Yes, I went to my Observer account. Good. Oh God, this.
Say iPhone or PlayStation. We are not abroad here. Here, everything has to be proper High German and at least 3
High German, I
words
thought.
too long. Nobody says, "Hey, I just got the new."
So here's the thing to understand about Germany. The further south you go, the more up it gets as you get closer to the Alps and things get hillier and more mountainous. So as I understand, if I'm understanding correctly, High Dutch or High Deutsch or High German comes from the southern areas of Germany. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I feel like, well, all right. Hochdeutsch or Standdeutsch is probably derived from High German, not Low German. There is a precise linguistic and historical term. Higher refers to the group of dialects spoken in the higher elevation southern and central regions of the German-speaking area, roughly Bavaria, Austria, Switzerland, Swabia, Thuringia, Saxony. Saxony! These High German dialects underwent second High German consonant shift, which produces sound changes such as P to Pif, Apfel, T to TS, or written Z or SS. So 2 versus 2. English Low German 2, 12, and Standard 2. Interesting. K goes to Ch. English Low German make Make versus Standard Maken. Low German, Plattdeutsch, spoken in northern Germany and the Netherlands, did not participate in this consonant shift and is much closer to Dutch and English in many respects. Okay, despite Germany being unified under what would be a Low Dutch, Low Deutsch country, that being Brandenburg turned Prussia, Low German or High German ended up becoming the basis for Standard German. Interestingly. East Central German dialects. Alright, whatever.
iPhone 17. No. We say, hey, ich habe mir gerade ein tragbares, multifunktionales Telekommunikationsgerät der
She's just being retarded. I found her on Instagram, who is this Lotta, and she was getting objected to when people were making fun of the German language by saying, like, here's this English word translated into 5 different languages, and the German one was like some 15 compound word. And she was getting objected and just like, no, we have this other word, this one simple word. We don't use this insane word that you're talking.
der 7. Generation zugelegt. Same with the PlayStation, of course. Non-German people say, damn, I bought a new PlayStation game. We say, boah, ich habe mir ein neues interaktives Unterhaltungssoftware-Modul für meine stationäre Einrichtung zur elektronischen...
No, fuck this. Alright, what else is going on? DH post agents in Santa hats with "You're going home, go Caps." Yep, man, they will not stop. The tomfoolery will not stop at DHS. Kenyatta Jackson, what the fuck? I'm not gonna pick on that. Abigail Thorne calls for Nintendo to confirm Samus as what the fuck? Portland jury acquits man of July stabbing as self-defense. Oh yeah, because the guy after getting stabbed called the other guy the N-word, and that was enough to get the jury in Portland to let him off. Oh my god. I hate this just reading this. Learning how to learn is another skill that should be learned. Founder of Rundown. MAGA's strange rage against Europe. It's an opinion piece. I can't see that. I couldn't see this if I wanted to. Whoa. What the fuck? Where did I just go? What just happened there? Split tab. Never. Oh yeah. Paywalled. Alright, whatever. Let's just go to Clash Report and see what happened in the past few hours or today. Pete Hexeth, if you're working on for a designated terrorist organization and you bring drugs into this country in a boat, we'll find you and we will sink you.
Boat, we will find. Here again, we've been focused, and here we've been clear. If you're working for a designated terrorist organization and you bring drugs to this country in a boat, we will find you and we will sink you. Here again, we've been.
Pause. I'm looking like I want to check the Clash Report Telegram channel, see what the emoji reactions to that statement are. How far back do I have to go for it? Please not too far. Oh, it got 30 shit emojis and 15 clown emojis. So, the Clash Report audience does not like this. Alright. We're asking American taxpayers to fund the world's greatest military. We're asking mothers and fathers across America to trust us with their most precious resource, their sons and daughters. We will honor their trust and their sacrifice.
We will deter war. We will advance our interests. We will defend our people. Peace
Make a national defense
is our goal. And in service of that objective, we will always be ready to fight and win decisively if called upon. As part of this mission, we are asking American taxpayers to fund the world's greatest military. We're asking mothers and fathers across America to trust us with their most precious resource, their sons and daughters. And we will honor their trust and their sacrifice.
You can tell when he's switching in between which teleprompter he's looking at. Not that I'm like holding that against him. Everyone has to do it these days. The Biden administration is more concerned about Ukraine's borders than our own. Sure. Yeah, I guess that fits. Pete Hexeth, we will modernize our nation's nuclear triad. We will never allow this nation to be left vulnerable to nuclear blackmail.
Nation's defense. All of this, of course, rests upon the power of our nation's nuclear deterrent, which is found.
What the fuck was that break? He like had to like, I don't know, drips, like get some spit off his mouth so it didn't sound like it was sound stupid.
Which is the foundation of our nation's defense. Nothing else matters if we don't get this right, and so we will. As President Trump has said, we will modernize our nation's nuclear triad. We will develop additional options to.
By the way, the nuclear triad is 3 components: ground-based, intercontinental ballistic missiles hidden in silos throughout the U.S., bomber-based nuclear weapons that's be carried by B-52s, and I guess also by B-2s as well, and nuclear-powered submarines hiding out in the ocean with intercontinental ballistic missiles, or submarine launch SSBNs. No, SSBN is the code for them, or what was it? Submarine launched intercontinental ballistic missile. SICBM? Is that the word? I feel like that's not natural. Whatever. To a certain extent, you can say that the only, like, one of those that is assured is the submarines. Because the missile silos, they're stationary. So potentially you could figure out where they are and launch nukes at them. Or the bombers, like you can shoot those out of the sky before they can even drop their bombs. So before even anything, like the submarines are probably like the one pinnacle that's really holding is the absolute last fallback thing, because it's really hard to keep track of where everyone's sub is. To know where the sub is with all the intercontinental ballistic missiles. It could be in one side of the Pacific, it could be east or west of Hawaii. You don't know. The missile silos, probably Russia and China both know where all our fucking missile silos are, and we probably know where theirs are too. So they're probably like first thing to hit in an attack if we were actually to launch nukes. All right. Let me finish this statement.
Deterrence and escalation management, and we will never allow this nation to be left vulnerable to nuclear blackmail, even in a world where we face two other major nuclear-armed powers.
Russia and
we will
China.
test nuclear weapons and nuclear delivery systems on an equal basis as others.
Oh yeah, that brought up like there's like some nuclear powered missile that Putin did a test of, and Trump's like, well, if they're doing it, we got to do it too, even though it wasn't actually a nuclear bomb test. Nobody actually does those anymore, but like I don't know what extra efficiency you're trying to cram out of a nuclear bomb. I think we've probably got them as small and light as we can do, as we can get them at this point. We're not trying to strangle China's growth, we're not trying to dominate or humiliate them, nor are we trying to change the status quo over Taiwan. Oh.
As I said at Shangri-La earlier this year, we're not trying to strangle China's...
Shangri-La? Did he mean Shanghai? Are you kidding me? Is that what he's... Was there like some Shangri-La meeting that I missed?
Growth. We're not trying to dominate or humiliate them, nor are we trying to change the status quo over Taiwan.
The status quo being that we say there is one China, but we refuse to recognize the PRC or Taiwan as that one China. We're being strategically ambiguous, although current presidents keep on like waffling back and forth over this. Biden kept on like making statements, and then his State Department had to come out and say, actually no, the status quo has not changed.
Our interests in the Indo-Pacific are significant, but also scoped and reasonable.
Scoped and reasonable. What the heck is that on his lapel? A leaked video shows Bashar al-Assad and advisor Luna al-Shibil talking in a car near Damascus, where Assad remarks about Ghouta, saying it needs to be slaughtered. What the fuck? God, look at that fucked up shit. Well, I can't understand Arabic, so Maduro jokes about a phone call he had with Trump. I saw this, I don't understand what's going on. At any time, did you ever say that everybody on board should be killed? Heck, said anyone here from the Washington Post? I don't know where you get your sources, but they suck. Of course not. Right, there's that whole thing when that happened. Apparently, they're like arguing that some people got back in the boat and were trying to salvage drugs. So perhaps that can be perceived as they're not trying to surrender. So, all right, 104 minutes. Time to get back into Europa Universalis V. I don't know. Let's see if happened anything in Japan. This is from 3 days ago. The LDP's Policy Research Council board approved today the bill to reduce the number of Diet members to 10%. The LDP and Ishin plan to submit the bill as early as December 5th. Okay, so they're moving on this. I thought they were gonna like drag it out for a fucking year or so, but I guess they gotta give Ishin something. The LDP's gotta, and Takaichi herself and the LDP need to give Ishin something, or else they'll say, you know what, fuck you, we're not gonna back you to be the main government of the country at this point. Komeito Chief Representative Saito Tetsuo reiterated today that the proposal to reduce the Diet member seats in the lower house by 10% is reckless and rejects democracy. That's because, as I understand it, Komeito doesn't run single-member districts, and if you tighten up both the single-member districts and the amount of seats that are awarded to proportional representation, that's going to fuck them harder because they're going to be in bigger districts, single-member districts where they're a small party. They don't get like they're not up there competing with the LDP and the CDP. They're a minority party. So in bigger districts, they're fucked. Lower proportional seats, they're probably going to get less. So like you fucking pissed off Sana Takaichi by not helping her maintain government. So she's not going to listen to you, buddy. Get fucked. Then again, the bill would have to pass with majority, I guess, in the lower house. And if right now the Ishin LDP coalition is not large enough for a outright majority, I wonder who they would get it from. I guess the CDP would probably object. I don't know. The major parties to like squeeze that through. I don't know. Sanseito and the Conservative Party of Japan are probably no. Like any small party is going to be against this. So the question would be people like DPFP and the CDP, whether or not they're going to go for this. So let me ask the question. Oh, god damn it. Back up. This will be the last thing for the evening. Alright, I need to actually turn this down. Jesus. Copy link. What have the CDP and DPFP said about their voting intentions on this proposal? Alright. Like, I think the CDP would be like, fuck no. Well, to a certain extent, as one of the, like, you know, the major left of center party, the second largest party in the Diet, they think that maybe they would stand to gain. You know, maybe there would be far more left of center parties to the left of them that, you know, will see the writing on the wall. Just like, if I wrote for this Communist Party of Japan or Reiwa, they're not going to win, so I'll vote for the CDP. The CDP has expressed strong reservations about the LDP inch proposal for a 10% reduction in lower house seats. 45 seats total, 25 from single-member districts and 20 from proportional representation. Oh, so more going to so they're going to cut down the amount of single-member districts. Interesting. Particularly criticizing the automatic reduction clause that would trigger the cuts if no agreement is reached within 1 year. CDP Secretary Anju Shun stated that on December 1st that party needs more explanation on why 10% specifically and why within 1 year. Alright, so I guess they're not against it in principle, they just don't like that it's getting foisted upon them like this. Honjo Satoshi describes the plan as extremely arrogant. On December 4th, arguing prioritizes arbitrary cuts over democratic representation. So it just sounds like they're against it. Historically, the CDP leader Noda Yoshihiko pledged a 45-seat cut during talks with the LDP leader Shinzo Abe. Oh. So they haven't been against it in the past. And the party included reductions in its 2024 plan. So they've been for this in the past. They even talked with Shinzo Abe in the past about it, but now why are they turning against it then? However, the current stance reflects concerns that the rushed LDP Inshin bill could disproportionately harm opposition parties and fail to address one vote disparities. So what does the DPFP have to say? Support seats reduction in principle, viewing them as necessary to account for Japan's population decline, but a population decline. All right, that's an angle that I had not thought about this related to the seat reduction is the is that Japan has a declining population. Essentially, that shouldn't matter. Like, the seats can stay the same. It's just make sure the seats are equally proportioned and everyone still equal representation. But I guess you could say there's an ideal ratio of elected representative to the population. and as your country gets bigger, you may want you're going to need more representatives. So I guess it does make sense that you can increase government efficiency by reducing the amount of government lawmakers because they're ultimately representing the same amount of people in proportion. The party in December 3 party released a counter proposal introducing a medium-sized multi-member district system with plural voting. Medium-sized multi-member district system and plural voting. 3 to 5 seats per district, allowing multiple votes, reducing total seats by about 14 from 465 based on 2025 population data while scraping proportional representation to enhance accountability. Interesting. So they want medium-sized districts where to get 3 to 5, and I guess those are awarded out based on some level of proportionality to the parties to enhance accountability. DPFP Secretary General Furukawa Motoji called the LGBT Ishin plan a bun without filling, empty reform. All right, like a bao bun. Okay, I appreciate the culinary reference there, Motoji-san. And Secretary General Shinba Kazuya reiterated on December 5th that political finance reforms, e.g. corporate donation ban, should precede any cuts. Earlier on October 17th, Tamaki indicated willingness to support reductions at the start of extraordinary session if properly framed. The party's platform consistently backs self-reform but prioritizes systemic changes over automatic cuts. All right, so if somebody's going to break and get the legislation through, it would be the Democratic Party for the people. So we'll see what legislative process this leads to. So, all right, time to close this. I want to play, whatchamacallit. Let's change my game category. 438 viewers active right now. This game counts as 4X? Are you kidding me? To a certain extent, but usually 4X you have a lot of open territory between other nations that you can expand into and exploit. I guess like minor statelets are that in EU in Europa Universalis games in general. All right, notification tweets. If you don't know what I was doing right there, I was like folding my tongue over itself and biting down. Not enough to cut it a bleed or anything, but it was showing my mouth as open on stream. What the fuck? Launching. I've completely come join me as I bumble around in the game as Spain. Run the game. Links. Apparently there's like some new like integration that YouTube has with YouTube where it will play the YouTube video in the Twitter app. Game not knowing what I am doing. Alright. Send it. Alright, turn off the video. Game capture is on and capture any full screen application. Let's fire it up. has Castille? None. Version. Oh yeah, they're constantly coming up with new versions of the game. Trying to like nerf centralization. I really love this song, by the way. It's like we're building up to a new age that is about to unleash. Close. Where am I? Alright, so Aaron took a bite out of that. Are they still in that stupid ass defensive league panel? The only person in it is Provence at this point. What are my alliances at this point? They're my centers. So I got Granada. Southern loyalty of 38.5%. Oh yeah, centralization is punishing me right now for this shit. I have this one, which honestly I should probably integrate, if anything, like give back to Aragon if all possible. Yeah, I still have a core over this territory. Oh wait. Where was it? Where's the... Wow, I don't have the core over that one anymore? I guess I lost it. Aragon still has core over all this territory. I would support them against Burn at this point because I have... Yes, we're aligned with them because we need to hold off fucking France. They are the behemoth that we must fucking fight against. Wait, I'm looking for my own military stats. I got like 40,000 levies right now. That's about it. And I can recruit some actual regulars. I actually have some manpower that can plug into stuff, but man, do I've got low income. And everyone is fucking pissy right now. My crown power is a lot though. Let's see, what are my values? What's my cabinet doing? Developing Toledo, increasing control in Sevilla. Developing Toledo. What are even my missions at this point? I've kind of forgotten at this point. Expand to new markets. Oh yeah, this one. I don't know how to fix this one. 12 markets. We have merchants in greater than equal. How do I find? Let's see here. Merchants are a company loyal to a country that are present in a market and can add to the trade advantage and trade capacity of the market. Man, what the fuck do I have to do to manage this shit? Oh, I need to expand. All right, so I got. How would I expand and get market? So has presence. So I guess I need to expand this, but I don't know how to get into any of them. So there's Barcelona market, the Lisboa market. Let me see if I can actually attempt to do this. Import, or let's see here. Oh yeah, let me go through these real quick. So I got influenza, where? No presence in country. Typhus, no presence in country, and smallpox, no presence. All right. Let's dismiss that for now. Oh yeah, I got straight up starving provinces for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Town location rank. Do I have to downgrade it? I don't get it. Why can't, like... Why can't I trade? Why can't excess food get there from other places? I don't get... The only thing... I'm just gonna have to let it go. I don't know what to do. Close to being target of international... independence movement. I can intervene against these guys. Sicily at war with them. So there's Kingdom of Naples and Kingdom of Sicily. Yup, I'm gonna let this go because their arrival... Actually, wait. Of Naples, who I would rather be strong with, so if they can be beaten down and then that allows Naples to eat them, so be it. So I'm not gonna intervene in this right now. Disloyal subjects. Fuck. You actually spend money to, see if keeping it at plus 20 does anything. Well, can I get rid of those trades? Embargo, Duchy of Milan, no. How do I get presents in there? I guess this is where I can get rid of these trades. What is it? Own trades. So these are the trades I'm conducting. Let's let that go. Slow subjects. Zaragoza. We have a claim thrown on them? Man, that would be something interesting. Ferran de Barcelona has reached age of 16. He is our ruler's grandson and courtier. Oh damn, he's a I don't know, I guess mediocre. Building over here. Spiritual retreat. Interesting. Do you want to suggest trades by clicking on the trade and let that pass to see how it fares? Volume panel trade to see your trade. Do one of the suggested trades by clicking on the card and let a month pass to see how it fares. Trade. Whoa. Establish new trade routes to acquire goods. Increase the production of goods to have more of them available for trade. A trade route may be profitable or unprofitable depending on the price difference between the export source and the import destination markets. Each country present in the market has a maximum trade capacity it can use up to create trade routes and a trade advantage that determines priority is it has to export goods along its trade routes. When there is a shortage, trade will be automated in each individual market default by clicking on the related cogwheel. Oh, hey, here's something about low food in the market. Markets require food stored, require enough stored food to provide for the constituent provinces that demand it. With this, locations belonging to those provinces may end up starving. Improve the RGO. Recommended actions. Improve the RGO that produce food will increase its supply. We can import food by establishing trades. Actions. Reducing the amount of buildings in the location will also make the pops go back to subsistence agriculture. The stockpile of food in the tombs market has reached critical levels. There are several layers of handling low food in a market. The more food in a location produces, the less of a drain it will exert on the province and market it belongs to, potentially even helping other locations if it generates a surplus. RGO are the main source of food, especially in locations with high food productivity. We should seek to expand those first and foremost if our market is short on food. The market's not short on food, though. That's the thing. Route maintenance, sound tools. I don't get it. Is there any way I can back out of a mission? No, once you're in it, you're stuck with it. That sucks. I just realized I haven't shrunken myself down. There we go. Sorry for the crowding out. You couldn't even see what I was reading over here. Can I get access to the Paris market? French Bernays War, intervening against France and Tunisian. Oh. Against what's his face over here? They're at war with France. Take Bern and Birgore. Let him. Oh my god, Aquitaine still exists. Just don't get it. And there's not that many food buildings here anyway. What is this? Armory. There's not enough people to staff it, right? 99 available for employment. Santander. That's where I want to build it because it's a city. There is already a marketplace in Santander. But not here. One over here too. One over here too. There's just not enough of these to go around. Alright, fuck it. I'll buy one there. I don't know why I did that. This unused trade capacity. So yeah, integrate forward from Lubeck. Alexandria, Paris, Edinburgh, Oslo, Stockholm, Dublin. See if that does anything. Straight up starving provinces. Man, I just cannot like fucking... I don't know if that's going, if those trade capacities are going through. Oh wow, I got the claim thrown on them? Are you kidding me? Oh, France 8 Baron. Hold up. Why is this chunk of Aragon somehow in... Alright, no, they're in ours, but... Man, there's one chunk of... Somehow this chunk is in the Bordeaux market before it's in. That is weird. Oh no, France hasn't eaten them yet. I was looking at the wrong map. I'm just realizing that. Oh, something at war. Oh, Tunisian Sicilian War. God damn it, how many times are we gonna go to war like this? 15,000. Is Morocco in on this too? No, they're not involved in it. Oh, they are at war with them? Fuck. Kingdom of Sicily is they're at war with everyone. Should I intervene? I guess if Aragon's in there, I should follow suit. Raise all levies. I'm gonna try and leave my retinue out of it for the time being. And where's my navy? Oh my god, they have troops here already? Are you kidding me? Let's slow down to speed 3. Man, they conquered everything. access actions. Request food access. We are not fighting a war together with Aragon. What about them? Do I get this from them? Sorry. Alright, you guys stand by over here because I'm going to need you to transport because we're going to kick these guys off the Mallorca Islands. Let's make that a first thing. Get those guys. I feel like this is way less than the 40,000 shown to me. Oh, I guess that's 15,000. I guess it could add up. Man, why did Brittany expand so much? I'm not raising the fishing boat fucking levies. Could gain stability. No, I'll increase the prosperity or development, whatever it was. Sort by average morale. No, I want to ship organized by ship type. I wish it would just tell you how much, like, capacity these ships, let's see here. Transport capacity is currently, using maximum 2 transport capacity. Oh boy. So I can only transfer 22,000 troops. Man, they're just running amok out here. Did my trades do anything? Man, did I just take up all our trade capacity there? Should suggest exports for profit. Lubeck. Edinburgh. Venice. I have no idea where that is. Did I do Dublin already? Sure. That took up the last sort of trade capacity. Are you kidding me? Okay. What's this? Scorched Earth? No. Drill Army. Oh, that's a thing. Army maintenance until canceled. Fuck. Where's attached to? So I only got 22,000 capacity. That sucks. Here's the cogs that are supposed to do it. So strength, morale, home. Man, I'm really like, don't have that much capacity, do I? Split in half. Can you embark? Really, I need that little, alright. Create new unit. Oh, peasant levy, 1, 2. That's all it can bear. Everything is a unit of 1,000. Alright. Let's give you a suitable. What do you mean lacks access? Oh no, it's the. Alright, get on there and start sieging the place down. I don't think there's a fort there, so this is gonna go quick, more or less. How many markets do I have presence in? Alright, I'll have to revisit this another day. I don't know what I'm doing. How do you gain presence in another thing? Claim throne on England and Aragon. Let's see here, who's this? Our ruler's first cousin. Oh, really? Not gonna do that. Just yet. Alright, let's see how badly this goes. Where are they moving? confused what's going on there. Oh, everything's falling now. I don't need something to do anything specific. I'm just transporting troop. Why are you going 5, 6, 4 at a time? What is this retardation? How are you only taking that little at a time? Taking 13 troop? What is this? I have how many cogs in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drawing 17 troops at a time. Can you seriously not can you not do more? I swear this was not that bad before. Prestige, alright. 54 units. This has got. Why is this so bad? What is going on here? Why am I losing? Yeah, get funds. Low capacity of 22,000. 2,200. Should be picking up. Is just because there are units that small? Yeah, they have unit. Alright, hold on. Let's consolidate some units, please. Oh, now they're gonna bring over 732. That's an upgrade. I am so confused what is going on here. Oh, hey, please stand by. I have something in the oven that needs to be taken out. Give me a second. That was dinner for the next week. It's these turkey hamburger steaks, I guess you can make. You could say that I had. They're mainly it's ground turkey, miso paste, grated onion, a bunch of other assorted spices. Oh, and eggs to hold it all together. And man, did that stuff leak a lot of water. The thing was a very wet, very liquidous mixture when I made it. There was always a problem like trying to get it to actually form into shapes. I was actually extruding it through a pipe bag made out of like a regular plastic bag, food bag, or whatever. But they're done now, and man, there's a ton of liquid, which I guess I'm going to collect and then turn into maybe a sauce or something. Estate satisfaction minus, why would I just take the stability hit? Our ruler's niece. She's 21. He's 54. That's not good, man. That's the paternal age effect. Man, I hope there's no kids out of that fucking marriage. Okay, now we're bringing over 1K troops. We should not be taking this little. What is my naval capacity even at? Force limit? No, that's fort limit. Galley power. I guess I gotta build 3 more cogs, because holy shit. Hey, what's this? Sailor building cost. Crew size. Can't afford, we don't have the money for it. We are running a deficit right now. Fuck. Man, I swear we're having way easier time doing this in the past. This is going poorly for Sicily. Yeah, so naval capacity, that is something that I am struggling with right now and I need to ameliorate. Well, at least they're doing up to the limit of 2,000. Like, you think with 7 cogs in the formation, I'd be able to get like 7,000 troops a pop, but no. Man, everyone's just starving now. This makes no sense. Can I build a market? Carpenter's Guild, Saltpier's Guilds. Wait, it has a marketplace. Listen, there's food in the Burgos market. You just need to access it. I don't know what to tell you people. this territory out here, and Sicily's like nearly conquered. Transport capacity system describes how many men or strength from regiments we can get on our ship. $200. Jesus, that is really poor. That's really, really annoying. Sorry, my phone went off. Well, I'm stuck doing this for the time being. Get up there and take that. Alright, fine, let's beat the crap out of them and... There they go, now they pick up again. Why is their morale so high? Why is his R so low? How did we take that many casualties? What did I do wrong? else are Syracuse, Messina. Can I get military access from you? I need food access from Naples. We have our general. Our units are balanced. I can call Cortez. Where's Toledo? Sponsor promote members of the board. I could use that. That's low. I'm just gonna let that run and see how that goes. How's our values doing? With central, oh, it's in a dead heat right now. Is it Central Council? It's a plus 10. Itinerant court decentralization. How do I get rid of that? Oh. Proximity cost or land minus 10%. Move capital cost minus 30. Not sure I want to get rid of that. Market fairs. Need to get rid of that. Fortification licenses. Yes. Parliament outside capital. Fuck, I forgot that. I'm already pretty up ahead of there. Howdy. Not sure if you're talking, so can't, darn it. Is my mic not going through? I don't know what's up. Why I'm coming in so low on the, I guess I need to even boost my volume for some reason. Let's see here. Turn off, let me see if that changes anything. I also had, no, I had output off. There we go. All right, that's because I had output going on. All right. How the heck do you wander in here, Jughead? Oh, I finally beat them there. All right, let's siege down this place with the help of my fleet, which can barely carry any of my troops. As my country is absolutely starving right now, and I don't know how to fix that. No, hold up. Superb Republic, end fleet basing, end food access, offer fleet basing, right. Request military access. They haven't, what? Why can't I? I'm so confused right now. Still not good. Yeah, it's still not good at it. Me neither, bro. I'm stuck with a mission that I don't know how to complete. Fire the worst stuff down was absenteeism. Fuck it, I don't care. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no, the Cortez is not going to pass. Whatever. Take the money while I can. Stop over here for a second. You siege this place down. What am I trying to complete? It's this mission about have merchants in greater or equal to 12 markets, and I have no idea how to get into a market. Oh, these guys are straight up starving. Yeah, well, now that I got the entire mission is blocking me from picking any other one that's like more pertinent. Oh, this is a man, Sicily is getting fucked. The Muslims are reinvading Europe. They've conquered all of Sicily. This is not going well, and it doesn't help that I straight up just do not have okay. You need somebody else in charge of this. All right, I just took a stability hit. Oh, well. Oh, man, they're just running like lemmings into my fleet. Nijanese has engaged. All right, probably gonna need that. Are you still starving now? How bad is their attrition? Man, what is taking these sieges? This one's gonna go easier than that one. Oh, there's like 96 Sicilian troops with me right here. Piazza, oh man. Why do you get an exclave like that? That is fucking retarded. Disband unit, disband levy from unit. Well, that went terribly. Tunis gets more of Cagliari, which is under. Okay, so what's his face? King Alphonse de Barcelona. So even Aragon lost something out of this. Fuck. Where's my navy? Wow, what are you doing over there? Alright, what do I have you do? Really smooth. Managed to invade busy and take Constantinopolis. Oh, Byzantium. Busy. I have not heard of that name. No, I'm not doing a walkthrough. Then I had a massive war with Castille that bankrupted me and spiraled me into a civil war with the nobles, completely devastated me and left me open to another invasion for Castille and ended my run. Damn. Got hidden agents. Causes belly speed. Alright, not even on that right now. Oh, France ate the rest of Bern, so that's... I helped them out against Aragon, but now I've got Aragon in an alliance. And I'd like to keep it that way. I know apparently the entire like meta apparently with Castile is you have to eat Aragon before France does. Because you're not going to get the... Because the Aragon's going to be eaten by France before you get the Iberian wedding. Or so I have heard. Alright, let me build more cogs because... Prosperity, a prospering monastery. Legitimacy, prosperity. You will leave them to their own business. Sure, increase prosperity. What's this? Alright, that's going up to max capacity. That's only gonna... I'm not gonna even be able to get like a third unit out of my capacity there. Ugh. Anute. With King Alfonso de Borgoña now in power, he has been planning on moving the court to a different location. Oh, wow. I just had a monarch death. Ugh. Administ man. He's got some weak abilities. Will now rule the glorious country. Okay. You, age of 56. I guess that works. Cordoba is the best. Burgos is a good spot. No, I want Toledo as it. I want a central country. Jesus. Not Cordoba. That's too Muslim coded. What's my control? I've maximized as much control as possible. Oh great, now I have cannons. Well, I still need to buy them. Unmarried adult heir. Let's see here, grammar again. Oh, I could do it with Portugal. 23, she's 18. Sure. Ugh. Alright. It has the most control. Palencia, Salamanca. Man, Sevilla, I cannot get their control up enough. Well, then again, I was trying to save up money for, better education. God, this is so annoying. I don't know. Is she good at anything? Administrative skills? Fine. Yes, I can get an alliance with Naples now. Hey, building. Sergeantry. What does a sergeantry even do? This building where sergeants live and train. Sergeants derive from the Latin serviens. Servants are armed retinue and the monarchs use the fuel systems making... Can I build those? Plus stability, plus money. I'm gonna plus money right now. Because I need to build more roads. There we go. No, so if I build through this one, that gives it. So that'll give me some slight extra. Where's the rivers mode? Stability, country ranks. This is a river mode, right? Natural harbor suitability. Where is the... I swear there's a map mode for like rivers or something. Man, you just can't get control up fast enough or enough ever. Army maintenance. Trade range. Spy network construction. Castilian Navy. I guess I need to add that in at some point. Rights of the nobility. I'm not sure I want that. Locks plated knights. Navy repair costs, change policy cost, Navy initiative, construction speed, empiricism, legislative efficiency. Nothing over there is catch ya. Supply depot capacity, coastal fort supply carts. Honest administrators. Proximity costs. Oh, wow. That's nice. Is there proximity costs around here? Unlocks rag paper. Man, I'm just stacking up research so I don't have to pay attention to it. Where's my vassals? Oh my god. Events, stop going. Alright, we're going to increase province patrol in Madrid and then to Toledo. Many ordinances, His Majesty in practice almost powerless to enforce them. Instead, enforcement depends on the local powers, regional Recalhombria, and city governments that are not always vigilant as we desire. Let them handle it. Gains. Cadiz gets local ordinances, local power, max control, plus 5%. Minus 10 legitimacy. My legitimacy is pretty high. Oh, so enforce ordinances gives me max control and no, let them handle it for the same +1 control. God damn it, building roads, it's so tedious. Las Navas. What is this? Resolution to vote on. Deus Rex Gratia. Estate's satisfaction. Yes, we'll go for that. Western Asturias is continuing to starve for some reason. There's no farming villages that can be put up here. What is this? The age of 16 years, ruler's daughter and courtier in the crown of Castille. Arrange a royal marriage with sure, England. She's 16. Who's the youngest guy? Sir John Plantagenet. Yes, there you go. How many children do I have? Let's see here. Crown Prince. Now I just married her off. 14. Alright, so there's a little bit of juice to squeeze out of here, but damn, proximity cost fucking sucks. Man, moving to Toledo really would be a benefit because it's right on a river. Seriously, where's that map mode? population, religious, institutions. Cadiz is natural harbor suitability. I guess I should invest in that, or also Cartagena as well. That did not find me what I was looking for. So here, control. Proximity is still way down. There's a supply map mode. Hills and flatland. 3D map. No. I mean, that's pretty, but I think it's this one. Boosting my maritime presence here as much as possible. This place has got granary, supplies guilds. What is produced even here in Cartagena? Recombordia demands increased pensions. Now, go to hell. They got wheat. That's not what I wanted. What do I have here? What is it that allows them to build ships? Weaponsmith, Potter's Guilds. Let's see here. Who's this? Ruler's first cousin. Who's this dude? He's 27 and she's 26. Oh, that's not that bad. Alright, and we immediately recovered. Okay. Is there a such thing as a harbor? Or a dock? There's the dock. Forefront of diplomacy and meeting places where representative foreign nations conduct negotiations. Wow, okay. We're gonna build a farming village. Alright, back. Where can I, let's see here. There's dock. Alright, is there a harbor thing here? No. Fuck. No, dock. Armill, Mason, Mission, Naval Supplies Guild. Scriptorum, Settlement. Stud Farm, Taylor's Guild, Temple. Wharf is a maritime structure at a port where ships can dock and transfer. What are the requirements? Oh, there's one maximum wharf per location. Interesting. Our ruler's distant cousin. Oh well. Navy maintenance. I guess I'll go with this guy for the time being. Oh, it put all the cogs in the back? Good. Encia Eterna Dei. What does that even do? Institution growth, sure. Although I'm up on all the institutions at this point. Alright, no more Muslims here. Man, they have effectively converted. Oh, there's still some here, but it's like majority all the way through. Who's that? Judaism. So there's some Fardi people. So Almaria, whatever this is. Uh, 41.95% loyal. Is a disloyal subject. Fuck. Why do they hate us so much? It's because of high centralization. Building here. Farming village in Calatrava. I picked that, didn't I? Avila is just starving. So we're just like having people starve to death on a daily basis. Where is, like, farming village? I can't build any in here. Who do they think they are? What the fuck? Not good. Arrange a royal marriage to, sure, Navarre. Who did I just marry him to? The Beylik of the Ottomans. How is that allowed? Are they Catholic now? Did I glitch something and that happened? And there's a woman in charge of it. Is she a regent? What the fuck is going on here? Izmit. What the fuck is going on here? Primary cultural Turkish. Primary religion Orthodoxy. How did that happen? What the hell? So there's a Beylik of the audit and... Okay. Something went wrong. Horribly wrong. Golden Horde is still standing strong. Libertas Ecclesiae. Imperial Authority modifier. No, I'm not interested in that. For right now, I guess. God, France needs to be taken down a peg. Oh wow, another Cortez. Fine, I'll do it in Toledo to lower my centralization because that's really pissing off my vassals. Sure, that one seems good enough. What's it, 49%? And reduce opinion of France. All right, that puts it in the red. Got it. Or in the green. I have an assault causes belly. Nope, we're still allied with them, so no. Yeah, we got plenty of unprofitable trades we can get rid of. I'm just realizing that. The Sevilla markets, yeah, maxed out. There's Namar. Is there... They still like us? Yes. They're our vassal, so they really don't have a choice. What about Portugal? Offer alliance? I can get an alliance with them? Yes. What is this music going on in the background? I'm not going to war with Aragon. West Asturias. Can I build a farming village in West Asturias? What about a farming village in West Asturias? Alright, maxed out control here. Where's the next place? In Lerma, which borders... Yeah, so Done with Madrid. Province control in Lerma. How much juice is there to squeeze out of there? Oh, there's some to squeeze out of there, apparently. Right next to the capital. But it's probably not the most valuable place. I can share some money for that. They're at war with the Byzantines now. Who did I just get dragged into a war with? Oh, so now I'm at war with Sicily again? Alright. I barely have any fucking capacity for transport. What the hell? This is horrible. Alright, I'm not gonna commit all troops. Alright, just built a bunch of armories. Hire mercenaries. Let's get all these levies up from here. That's barely anything. Fine, we'll use the let's move up this way. Alright, where else can I raise some levies? Slow it down a bit. Not sure what's going on. How's the control over here? Super high. Oh god, what are my values at? Quality offensive. I need quantity more than anything else right now. Bureaucracy law. Centralized bureaucracy, monthly towards centralization. What am I at? I'm at super high, so honestly... Road building time, monthly prosperity for oh, fuck it. I need to back down on centralization because all my guys fucking hate me, and it's getting worse. I need to probably bump up. All right, gather up, everyone. We're going afar. All right, balance, and then... Oh, damn. Yeah, get over to Messina. Man, I thought I was able to I was able to transport way more people with my ships. All right, get over to Messina. This is general. Now we'll do the guy who's got the Admiral trait on him for some reason. What? You're healing 1%? Are you kidding me? That's what you're doing? Oh, you took 5 troops. Also, let's consolidate. What, did they all die en route? Is that what happened? Who's this? Duchy of Achaia. Man, what is they doing? Siklos. Expand gathering and seek construction locate. What is this? I have no idea what's going on here. Days left. What is even the point of, no. What do armories even do? New source of manpower for armies. The army can be built in urban locations to increase it. Yeah. All right, they're taking 2K at a time. That's better than what things were at. Oh, there's no more consolidation to be had? Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing. Seems like I really need to be focusing on building up cogs, but man, is that going to eat into all my... I guess I need another cog. Alright, so all the roads here are good. And I'm out of money. I don't know why I built that last one. Villa Diego. The village of Diego. Sorry, I'm smelling something and I swear it smells like Taco Bell for some reason. I'm just hungry. I'm holding myself to a 36-hour fast, but because the last thing I ate was a protein shake at about like midnight last night because I forgot I needed some, I'm now like, I'm gonna have to wait till like midday. I'm gonna have to wait till afternoon tomorrow. Maybe I'll just break it when I wake up. But then again, yeah, I need to get up and eat. I need to go around and do stuff tomorrow. Yes, I get it. You're experiencing attrition. Sure, Kingdom of Hungary. I hate these like age gaps. It just feels so wrong. Do I have fleet basing rights? Why do I have no general here? Why? Alright, Crystal Ball, you got it. Alright, get up here. Oh, look, there's an army we can go fight. Kingdom of Albania, which is a vassal of the Kingdom of Naples. All right. And the Kingdom of Bulgaria, which is Orthodox. Basarabia, which is Sunni. And Nogai. These guys, Sunni and Mongolian. Actually, that wonders. 1 second. Cultures. Nogai and I don't know where. There's some There's a stretch of Mongolian through here. They're sieging that down, and I'm trying to get guys over here. Oh, they were sieging something down? Well, I guess I'll siege it for them. Can I buy... or hire new units? What is this? There's armory here, military. Can I no, turn that off. Recruit regulars. Can I get the Horn of Fists? That took all my money, but whatever. We could use cannons going forward. Especially for sieges, hopefully. Going through mountainous terrain, boys. What's this place called? Agiro Castro. Alright, we're sieging down this province, and then I guess we can try and bumble our way into... What even is the war goal for what the war that we're in? Take Central Macedonia. So up here? Well, we're mostly there. Our enemies that launch strikes okay. No, keep it about education. Man, this place is, well, also it's let me just check something. How's so it's really mixed over here, but how did they end up as Orthodox? That is just weird. I'm gonna attach with these guys. So we have the war goal. So what else is there to do? Siege down Sicily, piece them out and take as much of them as possible. Well, we got a Hornifist now, so we have a cannon. Again, who am I at war with? All up here. Where to next, boys? Is it gonna sit here? Gonna go to Salona and then what? Try and take over the Athenian plain? Meanwhile, I'm still starving out here. Increase that. I don't have money for a farming village. What about a granary? Monastery, what do the nobles give me? Yay, we won a battle. Blockade ports. Man, they got 41 ships. Because I really don't have too much coastline aside from here. I need to integrate my vassals. When can I integrate them? Alright, let's annex these guys. Maybe I can give it back to Aragon, make him happier. Alright, cannons is 5.0, so there's a bonus on a siege roll, but how many cannons do you need? Is it 1 unit of cannon? 1 Hornifist gives me 1 extra point. Might as well split off a cog and go pick up this Hornifice and bring it over to this siege. Oh, France got excommunicated. Holy shit. Get fucked. Oh man, the Papal States is taking over more and more space out here. Falling through on threat. What the heck? What's falling through on? Conquer cost for the attacker, subjugate cost for the attacker, max antagonism. We are men of honor, our world is gold. Alright, they're still pretty strong. Oh, they're at 39,000. But I'm a little bit over leveraged right now. But with my alliances, maybe I could take them down a peg. Alright, we're done. Oh no, wait. Shit, I'm still at war. That was a mistake. I thought I was peace with everybody. What the fuck are you doing? Get over here. Hulk. Unlocks Hulk ship. Oh, upgrade to those immediately. Yeah, do that. Don't... Did my Hornifice die due to attrition? Are you kidding me? No, disembark. Don't... Wait, where are you? Wait, what just... I just had them land there. What the fuck? I guess that wasn't our ship. Sure, land over there. Neopatria. Use military access, food access, war operations. Where are they? Wow, I did not know this country existed. It is so small and insignificant. Malta to Naples. Countess Salona will, who is this? Is there an upgrade button? Yes. It's not important, not in a friendly location. Oh, they're eating more Sicily. Good, I want a powerful ally like that. Who the heck is this? Oh, it's Venice. Alright, I've gotten the most out of here. What about Villapeno? Oh, there's way more to build up here. Nope. Most of the roads are already built here, but there's a lot more to gain here. Who are we at war with at this point? Infantry, who are we? What are we even fighting at this point? The Castille? Alright, you break. And I don't know, let's get up here. Alright, took a second. Now it knows what it's doing. The heck are these? The Beylik of the Karasids. Alright. What the fuck? Why'd you bother fighting me? Karasid's next after this? Tarzona. Can I give this province back to him? See here. Cell location. I can't do that while at war. Fuck. I got it as a core somehow. Cause there's like, no, that can't be because there's 12 Catalan people there. That's not right. Ugh. Man, I'm getting tired. Can I transfer control of this thing? Where are they going? I guess they're getting transported over there. Oh, Thessaloniki is their capital? Interesting. I guess that fits because they no longer have Constantinople, but it's overwhelmingly Greek and overwhelmingly Orthodox and staying that way apparently since the Ottomans are not as interested in Islam anymore for some reason. Alright, you just attach for now. Let's stand by to see where they land. Oh, they're landing over there. That's all they're gonna do. Oh, that's bad. That is dumb. Where's their capital even? It's in here? It's not Gonen. It's not Kankale. What is this? Is it all the way over here? Merchant features. Support the mercantilist faction. Lose money, gain stability. I'm at really high stability. Less legitimacy, plus prestige. My legitimacy is fine, so I'll take the hit on that. Rather than to my bank account. Tell you, we're going to help here at Milas. Since there's actually a decent force there. Not these slim pickings over here. Alright, link up. Don't want to be abandoned here. Does that do anything? Logistics, battle, I guess these things aren't good enough for... Alright. War's over. Alright, you get all the way back over here to Toledo. You know what? No. No. Not like that. Onto the ship, dumbass. Yes, this is my very kingly retinue. 2 guys and a donkey. All right. I'm very well aware of my exiled armies. Well, that's over with. Oh, wow. I guess I should do Lyon next. I should probably do that now. What's the lowest one? What are you? I don't know why I just blew all that money on that. Where's my army? Oh, they already made it there. Never mind. Alright, so all my Hulks are now upgrading to Hulks. What am I researching here? Castilian Navy, heavy ship power, maritime presence. Alright. Man, we're getting close to the end of the age of the Renaissance at this point. And I don't think I've fleshed out my things as much. Fleshed out, gotten through enough of the let's see if once these roads are built, how much extra lower proximity I can get there. It didn't take that much to upgrade. Oh, what's this? Oh, I can upgrade those guys too. No, not creating a unit. Oh. Fuck. Shit. Alright, who am I at war with? All these fucks. Okay, what was the point of this war? Take Al-Habat. Nobody's levied any troops yet. Shit. No, raise all levies. Yeah, 43,000. Nope. Why did my chat just glitch? Alright, what's going on here? I want more cannons. That's what I want. I want some handgunners. I can only get one of them right now. Did you get dragged into this war too? Alright. So it's all of us. Naples, Ottoman-Genoese War. Is these Hungarian Revolt? Weird. Nix you. It's a Sevilla. Organized there. More Hornifices. See if that does anything for sieges. I was meant to sell my fucking province to Aragon over here. Make them happy. Oh, I could straight up just, I could annex Navarre at this point. All right. We'll go with Seraphin. Oh, and they're back up, almost up to snuff. Are they seriously about to fucking land troops here? Actually, wait, no. Hunt navies in... Yeah. Okay, I don't need to check all the way up here. And some little... There's probably a way more efficient way to do this, but I'm just not doing it, and I don't care. There we go. Let's see how that goes. Oh, I have these guys who can actually do stuff. Never mind. May the Madonna forgive him. Stability. Oh, this whole thing about the veneration of the Virgin Mary. You station at Cordova for the time being. There we go. Good. My vassal's doing good work. Who is this? Our ruler's aunt. Oh well. Oh, I gained a ship out of that. Lady Mary Plantagenet has died at age 65. She was our ruler's mother and courtier in the crown of Castile. Father was Lord Edward of the Black Plantagenet of England. Damn. I'm 15th rank power right now. What do I have as a spouse? Oh, yeah. From Portugal. Devasto. He is our ruler's distant cousin and courtier in the crown of Castile. Man, I just get a lot of deaths going on right now. We have claim throne now on Kingdom of England. I'm not gonna fuck with that, no. Oh god, France is eating up all its vassals, fuck. There's an alliance with Orange. Yeah, that's not gonna work out for you, buddy. How many troops do they have? 20,000? So I got double them. What's this? Apostolic Servius. Sure. I can't do it on any of these guys. Are you kidding me? Only the Mamluk Sultanates. Not raising naval levies. We got 3 years to use the no, I can't go up against France like that. Administrative education. No, she can keep balanced. Wild game. What's even going on in my trades right now? Current trades. What's the most profitable one? Saffron. Damn. What's this one? Sugar. From Bordeaux. Importing from Bordeaux and exporting honeycombs to... So we're just doing tons of importing. Holy shit. Alright, you need to do logistics. Because we lost so many troops right there from attrition at this point. Alright, Are they trying to take this territory? Okay, let's not be undefended here. Holy shit, I have lost so much to attrition right now. This is horrible. We gain firm hand for 10 years. Subject income. Jesus. Okay. How's your attrition? Distributing food. God damn. How is this so bad? Oh, never mind. Well, there goes our forces. Okay, I get the lack of food. I don't get the, doesn't have a castle. Holy shit, I lost my entire army. Holy fuck. Holy shit, that was awful. Well, I don't know what to tell you, fucking. Fund farming estates, promote, support the state. No, expand officer lists. Expand our shipbuilding facilities. Ugh. Aristocracy. Man, plutocratic movement is the burgers are getting the shaft here the hardest from that. I don't know. I really want that one. Expand. What one did I pick? Expand shipbuilding facilities. Yes. All right. Well, I guess this shows the importance of logistics. Should have taken a port town. This might benefit us. The Flugers are in business in Augsburg. Bank of the Fugers. All right. Let's get on their good side for right now. Oh my god, how are you losing so many ships out here? Why did you go out into deep water? This is where the AI is like so horrendously bad. Jesus Christ, how do you even do that bad? So I have troops over here, so I'm going to stand out here in deep water to supply them with food for some reason. And how many hulks? 1, 2, 3. So I need 7 more. I'm gonna have 7 hulks. And I have no money. We're doing terribly in this war. What would you think was gonna happen here? Oh, cabinet seats. Monthly legitimacy, increased province patrol. Towards decentralization. Now I need to appoint a member to do that. But I need money. Wow, I couldn't even defend myself if I wanted to at this point. So this war has been a complete and utter disaster. Portugal, I don't know what you're expecting to happen here. Are you fucking kidding me? I lose territory in this? Like, I know, like, in previous iterations of the game, in EU4, like, it can be difficult to, like, want to get more territory, but the fact that I am losing territory, despite nothing, no contact being made here is absolute bullshit. Oh, and so now I got this little, okay, I'm gonna, alright. I'm gonna have to save game here, because that was stupid what just happened there. I was done with my logistics, and then Portugal sold me up the river. Fuck. Alright, that's it. Tomorrow, evening stream as per usual. I got a bunch of chores to do. I need to actually go do my laundry right now. It's late, so nobody should be actually using the common laundry. Tomorrow, I'm going to start Dark Souls. So I'm going to close this game and actually make sure I have that installed, because don't want to be embarrassed with that again. I'll set up the stream ahead of time. Yeah, and also, yeah, how do you take a peace deal and then you cough up your allies' territory? That's not going to, like, at this point, I'm going to beat the shit out of Portugal and take their throne so they can't do stupid wars like this. So that's enough for the night. It's late. I need to do some chores. So good night.